All right, it's July 11th, and so this is going to be my first reflection from this past week. On Sunday, I posted a video with a list of the things I want to accomplish this week, try to get done. And yeah, we're just going to go through and see what we were able to do for this week. I don't even know. Where's my list? Oh gosh. This is already. Maybe I need a list journal, and then maybe I need a journal for everything else. Crap. Okay, here we go. I found it. All right. So we had make doctor's appointments for this week. I made my doctor's appointment and my dentist appointment. It was actually so crazy because I was thinking about my dentist appointment and then they texted me. I mean, maybe I just have subconsciously in my mind that this is the time I should be going back to the dentist because they texted me like, hey, it's time. You're going to schedule an appointment? And I responded saying yes. Thank you so much for your help. So we got those done. Oh, yes. I said I had a bunch of emails. It wasn't a bunch, but I had some emails I had not responded to. I did respond to. And yeah, so that was good just to like get off my mind because, you know, when you have something lingering that you haven't responded to and you know you need to, it just does not feel good. So yeah, responded to those emails. And also the theme for this week was health is wealth. I was talking about last week, you know, I was sick. Wasn't feeling well. Health is wealth, wanting to be more intentional with that. So part of that, I said I was going to try to walk twice a day for 40 minutes. That didn't happen at all. But you know what? I did walk pretty much for an hour every day. And so maybe that'll be like the thing. Instead of trying to break it up, I think I wanted to break up the walks into two different chunks because walking really just helps me think. But trying to make it like specifically like workout walks, exercise walks is different from just like a little, okay, like let's just take a little quick something, walk around the block just to get the blood flowing. So I did walk 5 days this week. I said I wanted to walk 5 days this week. I did 5 days and I pretty much did an hour each session. So I think, you know, I could feel pretty okay about that. And then what I decided to do also, instead of, you know, walking twice, I added some push-ups after that walk. So I came in, immediately got down and gave me 10. I gave myself 10. That's what I did, 10 push-ups after my walk. And I felt pretty good about that. So I feel like that's something I can continue and be consistent with. Just like as soon as I wake up, go for a walk. I wanted to finish my book, Strangers, and I did that as well. I did that pretty early in the week. I think I only had like 15 pages or something left to finish. So finishing a book always feels so great. Like, yes, we made it through. Okay, because sometimes, you know, I get into a little reading spell and I'll read a bunch and then I won't be reading for months. So anyway, I would like to read more consistently. And this seems like I'm on a trend to do so. Also, I definitely recommend the book Strangers. I mean, it's a lot of sadness and a lot of heartbreak in there. It just, in short, it's about a woman whose husband decides randomly to get up and leave his family, divorce, give up custody of his kids and all of that. But it's much more deep than that. It's much more deep and really gets into like, I don't know, trying to understand the ways in which we show up in relationships and why. And I think a lot of that was kind of related to the societal scripts that we all subconsciously conform to. And I thought just like this woman's perspective on really reflecting on who she truly is and who she was before she got married and sort of like rediscovering herself and understanding how maybe some of that, you know, I won't even say was lost during her marriage. Maybe some of it she felt like she couldn't bring to the forefront because, again, of whatever role she felt like she had to play as a woman, or even felt like safer playing in her relationship. So I definitely, you know, recommend it. It's a good read. Definitely some good takeaways. So yeah, if you've read it or if you plan on reading it, would love to hear your thoughts on it as well. Okay, I also had in here that I wanted to make 3 meals this week because I said I had not been cooking at all. And I did a lot of cooking this week. I felt really good about that. Let's see, I made some salmon. I made some air fried chicken wings, actually, which I haven't made. I used to make those all the time. And I used to love making them, especially making them for people. So I made some for me and my sister. They're buffalo air fried chicken wings. So those are really good. What else did I make? I made, I made like these roasted tomatoes that I've been making that are just like super easy to put into the oven, and they're great just like on top of stuff, salads, eggs, whatever. Me and my sister have also been doing like these smoked salmon bowls. So I've been making, I call them soy sauce marinated eggs. I'm sure there's like a better name for it, a different name for it. But if you haven't tried it, I highly recommend. Okay, you just take some boiled eggs and then you put them in like a blend of soy sauce, Worcestershire sauce, hope I'm saying that right, parsley, chili oil, garlic powder, onion powder, and you let those marinate overnight, and then the eggs have so much flavor. Oh my gosh, I can eat them just by themselves. So good. I was making breakfast pretty much every day. Just some things to have like in the fridge are easy to eat. I can't even remember some of the other things. But yeah, so definitely met my goal of making 3 meals this week. We actually made a few more than that, so that was great. Okay, I also had on here to make a playlist. Now, I started the playlist. I started my playlist. I did not get to finish it. I really honestly I don't know why. I don't know why. I started making the playlist first, I think, in Spotify, but I love Spotify. I love Spotify. I will probably always use Spotify, but YouTube has more music. YouTube has more songs. So a lot of the time, a lot of the songs that I want to listen to or, you know, want to put on a playlist are on YouTube. So I think I started on Spotify, then switched to YouTube, and then I don't know what happened from there. I have like 8 songs on there, but to me, a playlist should never have less than 10 songs. Even 10 is kind of slim, but you can get a solid playlist, a solid listening experience, if you will, from 10 songs in a playlist. So anyway, maybe I'll finish it this week, but we'll get to that tomorrow. Not today. We'll make next week's to-do list tomorrow, not on Saturday. And by the way, did I say it's like 11 o'clock right now, 11 p.m.? I said I was going to do this. Again, this is like an accountability exercise, I think. I'm also, I don't know, I have too many ideas all the time. And I think a lot of times I want to write them. And finding the time to sit and write in a way that I feel like is in like shareable, it's just a different thing than I feel like trying to just, I don't know, maybe this just feels easier. Just coming on here and, you know, saying what I'm gonna do, trying to do, why I'm trying to do it. So yeah, we're getting this video in. Hopefully I'll get it up before midnight tonight. But we'll see. We'll see. I can't remember why I even said that. I feel like I said that for a reason. Oh, because I started talking about the to-do list for tomorrow. Anyway, okay, let's refocus back to the list. So next on the list, we're doing pretty good here. I'm just going back. We made the doctor's appointments. We sent the emails. We did the walking. We finished the books. We made the meals. I did not make the playlist. Okay, so after the playlist, I said I wanted to pray every day, but I said specifically because I feel like I just constantly pray because just like a constant conversation in my head. But I wanted to write down my prayers and to specifically pray for others as well. I'm just flipping through here. I'm looking at the dates. I know for sure I didn't today. But it looks like I have 3 prayers in here from this week. So, you know, we'll continue. It's a growth area, but you know, I have some prayers in here specifically for some folks. I definitely have some other folks I want to pray for as well. Next on the list was to buy a new water bottle. I did buy a new water bottle. I wanted something that was smaller than what I had. I'm looking over here because over here, my new water bottle. And am I going to do this? Oh, yeah, this is my sister. This is what the girlies do? Tap, tap? No. I don't know if I'm going to be a tap, tap girly. But anyway, this is my new water bottle. And I love it. I love the color. And I wanted to get something that I felt like was going to be easier to travel with. Because I need to have something in my bag, I realized. My current water bottle is too big. It doesn't fit in the cup holder. So this has like the cup holder size and things like that. So I feel like this will encourage me just to drink a little bit more, especially while out. And has this little like hanger. Oh gosh, looks like I'm literally throwing at the phone. Anyway, this little hanger carrier type situation as well, which again, I think will be good for outdoor excursions. So yes to hydration, especially in these summer months. So we did that. What else is on the list? I said I wanted to buy a walking pad. I think I kind of had like an asterisk on that. I did not buy a walking pad. I'm still like curious about it though. I'm still interested in it. I think as I'm continuing to kind of rebuild and reorganize this office space, I'll come back to the walking pad. But we didn't do that. That's okay though. I also had on here, do something fun with others. And I did that. I did that today. And I'm pausing here because, oh gosh, I don't know if I'm going to get emotional here, but you know, part of the reason why I put that is because I feel like sometimes I have a hard time having fun. Like my mind is always just so focused on the next thing, and it makes it really hard for me to be present. And so intentionally making time to do something fun with my family, my friends, I feel like is, you know, how I'm trying to help mitigate that. But you know, I found this out a couple of weeks ago, but an old friend of mine I found out passed away. And it's been a lot. It's been, I mean, yes, hard, but I think it's been just a lot as I think about how, I don't know, life carries us in different ways. This was a friend who we started our like working careers together. I used to work at the Smithsonian Channel in DC. I was there for 5 years, and I started there as an intern. I think I worked there for 2 years before he started, and then it was a really small company, and I was like one of the only college students or young people at the time. And then he came, and he also went to Howard University with me too. So, you know, we knew each other also from that, but it was just so exciting when he started because it was like, oh, another young person. And he was just such a joy. And like we would go on these walks and we would go to lunch. And I was just telling my sister, I remember he, you know, clearly if you follow me at all, you know, I love old music. I think he went with me to two. I know he definitely went with me to one concert. It was a Patti LaBelle concert, I'm pretty sure. But he might have gone with me to this other concert, a Chaka Khan concert, and he was just like down to do stuff with me and like always so encouraging. And he worked at the Smithsonian Channel for 2 years before he then went on to BET. And I remember when he was applying for that position at BET, and he was, you know, talking about it and waiting for that acceptance. And I was with him. I was with him when he got the notice that he had gotten the job. And what's so crazy is that's how I found out that he passed away, from watching the BET Awards. I was watching the BET Awards 2 weeks ago, and when they have the spot or the in memoriam, in memory segment, his face popped up. That's literally, I haven't watched the BET Awards in I don't know how many years, and I don't know what made, I saw a Lauryn Hill tribute, and I think that's what made me want to watch it. But that was the day I was really sick and just like on the couch. It was like 1 o'clock in the morning, and we were still watching it for whatever reason, and I saw his face pop up, and I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. And he was not working at BET anymore, but like he was a executive there, and I just couldn't believe it. I was so shocked. To also like see it in that way, you know what I mean? It wasn't like a social media announcement or something that I happened to scroll upon. I was watching the BET Awards, and then I see his face on there. And yeah, so that was a couple weeks ago, but his family just announced, you know, when the funeral would be. And I think that just made it feel more final. So, you know, this week I've just been thinking about, again, time with others and spending time with others and the importance of it, because we don't know where life is going to take us and how it's going to pull us. I still, in some ways, think and hope that for most of the people, I understand why certain connections and things have to end, but in certain ways that there's always some level of like keeping in contact. And I feel like, again, I was bringing this up when I was reflecting on doing things with others, and it's just important. And it's just important to be intentional about it and to try to be present about it. Because when thinking about my friend Ty, again, we started working together. This is 2013. So it's 13 years ago. It's a long time ago. And I guess I hate the feeling that some of my memories are fuzzy, and I think that's gonna happen. That's just normal, I guess. But I sometimes feel like, okay, if I can be more present and be more intentional and not just think that things are just going to happen just because they're going to happen, maybe my memories will be a little deeper. Because, we're just young and just in the same place and just deciding to do stuff. And, it's when you're young, things are less intentional. But then you realize the importance of the intentionality. So yeah, I'm like thinking also, I know there's like a GChat thread that I have with him, and I'm like afraid to open it because I don't want to see the date on it, because it's been years. I know it's been years since we last spoke. And again, that's life. But I want to be more intentional so that maybe I don't know, maybe that can be different for some friendships and relationships and things like that. So I'm so thankful for the people, including my friend Ty, who's no longer with us. So I was able to, I went on a boat ride earlier today, actually, with a group of friends. That was really nice. I also, earlier this week, a couple of my closest girls, we did like I'm not a crafter, but there's this new craft space in DC, where we just kind of hung out and worked on projects together. And I'm also, again, because of the way my mind races, I'm always talking about my memory. And I'm hoping this will help me remember sometimes, and help me to be a little bit more present if I can kind of like contain what happened or what I was thinking at a certain time here. So anyway, I still have a few more things on here, but I also recognize I'm feeling sad right now. I also had on my to-do list, organizing offices. I talked about that a little bit here. I have not done anything in here, but I'm helping my sister organize her office, and I love spaces. I love designing spaces. I think I forgot that. And I think I forgot that I'm actually like okay at that. I don't know why. I really don't know why. I don't know. But anyway, like one of my first major projects was my old room in my parents' house, my childhood house. And I like totally, from how it looked, how I grew up to like what I changed it to after college, it looked totally different, but it was so cool. I got this like dark blue, midnight blue paint. I had painted the ceiling and the walls all the same color. My mom, she was like, what the heck are you doing? Like, how are you gonna paint the ceiling? She thought it was gonna look too dark and all that, but we got like string lights, mood lights. I got like white shelves to make it pop. And it was just like, she used to love coming in there. And again, that was like right after college. So I don't know where in translation I thought that, I don't know, I'm not great at designing a space. So anyway, so it's been fun. I did like a couple of shopping trips this week. I went to World Market and TJ Maxx, and we looked at different colors based on like her bedspread and stuff like that. So I'm like pulling things that hopefully, she'll like and we'll buy, and then we'll like actually decorate the office. And then the last thing I have on here is to give gifts. Oh, well, clearly I didn't do that. This is for, and I saw both of them this week. Didn't I say this is what I wanted to not do? I have these gifts to give two of my best friends from when I went to Belize. And I keep forgetting to give it to them. I see them and I don't give it to them. I don't know what that is. So I'm gonna try again for next week when we make the to-do list. So yeah, pretty good. I should number this so that I can clearly see, all right, we hit 12 out of 15 things. All right, we're at like a 80% average here. But yeah, so I think, again, when I think about what I wanted the theme for this week to be, which is health is wealth, I do feel like that was prioritized between walking and drinking water and making the food, and also just remembering that life is short and life is precious. And I don't know why I keep getting surprised by life, but I do. I don't know. I really do. Especially again with the news of my friend Ty. He was like a year younger than me, so 34. I just keep getting surprised by life. But what I think that means is because we know that things are going to happen unexpectedly, I just feel like it is our responsibility to do what we can if we can. Do you know what I mean? Like there's so many people who for whatever reason can't do whatever the thing is. And I don't know what that thing is, but they can't, either because physically, mentally, emotionally, financially, maybe they don't have whatever they need to do whatever that thing is. But if you have it, then you have to do it, whatever it is. It could be making a phone call to somebody. It could be starting a project. It could be, and I'm saying this to myself too. I really am, as I'm trying to get out of my head and I'm trying to get into a space of like action and finally, like, again, just doing the things. Because not everyone gets to because of whatever, not everyone gets to, but you can, based on where you are. And we have to recognize that with ourselves. So I hope that made sense. And that's going to be a part of, I don't know, maybe that'll be a part of the intention that I set for this upcoming week. So yeah, if you watched this whole thing, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And I hope that maybe it was helpful in some ways for you too, as you think about and reflect on this past week for yourself. I will be back here tomorrow with a new list of what we're going to try to do, we're going to try to make happen for this upcoming week, and a new theme and a new intention. And yeah, have a great night, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.